Welcome back everybody to another of my videos. Today we're going to be looking at a quick review. It's not going to be any type of in-depth review by any sense of the term, but it's going to be a quick review of a set of aftermarket wheels for the ICM B-26K, which I'm working on right here. Now, I'll show you in a second the reason behind why I purchased these. Aftermarket items aren't something I normally do a review of, but in this case of this kit, it was definitely needed. And as far as I know right now, these are the only ones on the market. So without going into too much detail before I get too far ahead of myself, first of all, my name is Sean, and this is Sean's Aviation. So yeah, with that intro out of the way, let's jump right into this. So the A26K, the ICM A26K, B26K, however you want to say it, it suffers from one major issue, and that is the wheels. So I went ahead and purchased the ICM aftermarket resin wheels. These are the B26K Invader late style wheels, and they include paint masks, which are a nice touch. You see here the instructions on the back side show you how you can mask each one for the different, whether you paint the tires first or you paint the discs first. But you do get the different vinyl masks here, which is a huge help. So I'm not gonna go too deep into that because the reason why we're here is to look at the wheels. Now the reason why I needed to get aftermarket wheels, and I'll pull out the kit parts here, and I'll show you. So this is the difference between a kit part and the aftermarket. I'm just going to zoom you in here a little bit. And you can see right there, there is absolutely no detail on these kit wheels. They are 100% blank. I'm going to cut one off just to show you. There's just no detail to it. Absolutely not. They're just completely blank tires. They look like balloons. And this, you know, is what it should know. In terms of size, they're almost bang on. I mean, they're almost bang on. And you know, the one thing I actually haven't looked yet is whether I have the earlier No, I don't seem to have them. The earlier wheels, I mean, I do have a set here for the Monogram B model, and you can see the difference between a World War II tire, which is an accurate size, and the K model tire. So the K model actually ended up using wheels off of the KC-135. Main wheels off the KC-135 is what they used, mostly for the brakes. They had the larger brakes that were needed for the heavier airframe and the heavier weapons, and they needed a bigger brake, so they just took an existing stock US Air Force KC-135 wheel and used that on the K. So in terms of the tire size, they're bigger. And the kit wheel is the right size. But it is completely devoid of any detail. The hubs aren't bad. The tire, like it's supposed to have the radial tread. Sorry, focus. It's supposed to have the radial tread. It doesn't. It's supposed to have the lettering on the front. It doesn't. And look at the balloon. Look at the, if you look straight down, this has a flat sidewall and this has this ballooned sidewall. And it's completely inaccurate. And I don't understand why ICM failed so horribly when it comes to tires. And the only thing I can think is that they created a stopgap, just a generic shape, and meant to come back later and refine it. And they just forgot. They just legitimately forgot to come back and finish the tire. it's the only explanation I can come up with as to why these tires are completely devoid of any detail and completely blank. They just started a shape, they got the dimensions right, they left the surface completely flat, and it was like, yeah, we'll come back and finish the tires later, and they never did. So we need aftermarket tires, and that's what I bought. And they are very, very nicely cast. I'm just going to zoom out here just a little bit more. Now that you don't need to be up close and right into the action, I'll zoom you out. But yeah, casting is beautiful. The detail is amazing. You can read Goodyear. You can read the tire size. The detail is amazing on these. Casting is beautiful. It doesn't have a weight on wheels flat side to it, but when you do go to cut off the pour stub, you would end up with a shape similar to a flattened wheel. Now, the other thing you have to be wary of when you do this is you will have to drill out the hole for the axle. It doesn't have one. You'll see it just kind of sits there. So it does need the hole drilled out in order to take the axle from the kit. That's easy enough to do after the fact. Get a drill and just clean that out. So that's not hard, but it still has to be done. So it's one more thing you have to worry about. I'll most likely end up just using a pin vise. Like, that's already pretty close to the shape, you know, and it's not hard to sit here and just slowly, you know, just already it's starting to clean it out, and it's not hard to do that. And then you're not using an electric drill, and you're not all of a sudden going in on a weird angle or anything like that. And, you know, that pretty much fits. So that's all you really need to do. Just clean up that hole, the center, drill out for the size, paint them all up nice, bit of super glue, and you'll have yourself a decent set. I'll just leave that out there. A decent set of main wheels. So as I said, I'm not going to go into too much crazy detail. Apologies for that. My volume on my cell phone is ridiculously loud. Yeah, so that is the Aires 1/48 scale B-26K late wheels, designed for the ICM kit. And if you are on the fence about whether you need to purchase a set of these, the answer is 100% yes. That, I hate to say it, for such an amazing kit, is absolute garbage. It does not have the detail anywhere close to where it needs to be. And as they use as they used a KC 135 wheel, you can't just go out and find something off the shelf. The only way to get an accurate late model, or any accurate A26K or B26K counter invader wheels, is to go aftermarket. The only ones I could find were these ICM. Now, I know that Flying Leathernecks, that Dave Roof over at Flying Leathernecks had hinted at doing a set of these. There's been no word since the initial posting, and as of the time of me recording this, he's currently in the process of renovating a new house he purchased, so I don't know the timeline for him to start producing new items for his line. So what the timeline is on his wheels, I don't know, and as you can see, I'm getting-ish to the point where I need to worry about... I'm only a couple of steps away from needing wheels. So I couldn't wait for too much longer, and I didn't know what the timeline would be for these to be shipped up from the US. Canada Customs can be finicky at times. So anyways, you have a few options out there if you want to really wait and poke and you're not in a rush. But if you're looking at this video, you know, months or years after I initially released this kit, you 100% need to get aftermarket wheels for this kit. And this set right here, as long as they're still in production down the road, beautiful, beautiful set. Highly recommend them. They come with the masks, makes life a lot easier. So definitely big thumbs up. It's a buy in my books. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I know it's a bit backwards, but I'm just going to mention it now. If you haven't yet, please, down below, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, if you are interested in any of the content you see, you can access my website at www.seans-aviation.com. You can see all the latest pictures of aircraft and museums and the build logs of all of my current models and past models on that site. And if you're interested in any of this content, please click the subscribe button here on YouTube to follow more. Thank you very much, and see you guys next time.